thanks to Steam, Maki, and the like, I have access once again to the Mechanyx Minecraft server. And I've done some renovations. This is one of the first ones that I've done. This is the Grand Great Gamrison Gate. And it marks the beginning, well, at least the southern entrance to my territory. I've done some expansion, some aggressive acquiring of areas that now just belong to me because that is how it is. This was the old base, in the old update, if you remember, because I'm a function over fashion guy. So it was just a bunch of storage, and then up here I lived, and I could close these if I needed to because people weren't going to sleep and phantoms were trying to jump me. I added this on the top because I really liked the way this came out. I finally finished this because I worked on it the first time, but I hadn't finished it yet. Once I finished it and I really liked how it looked, the aesthetic of it, I'm like, well, to keep consistency, I got to make this for every building. So even the old building got a nice, roofing update a little bit. There we go. That's cool. But it all starts because of this. So Seal, another member of Mechanyx, they're really cool. One day back like last year when we were all on this server 24/7, they went and planted a Sakura tree in front of like all of our bases. And it's like my favorite tree in Minecraft, most likely, because I just like this right here, right? It looks cool. I like the falling particles and stuff like that. It's great. So I might have trimmed a little bit of it to get some saplings, and then I went a little happy with it. But all this is basically the same. This is still the same path that leads to the gate out the southern exit of the territory. I added this brief, it's like a vanilla machine. You put some bone meal in here, you flip a switch, and then if you have a flower like this, it'll just spawn a bunch so you can not run out of dye, because I needed, as you might, notice in the background, if you're here from the previous Space Colony Arc video, I needed a lot of yellow dye. And that's because in the cutscene where the Ark is hurling towards the planet, by the way, the dome looked yellow to me as a kid. It still kind of does when I look at the cutscene now, but that could just be color blindness. I get it's supposed to be more like asteroid and like moon-like. Moon of Atonement, it's even called Earth's second moon in universe. One night a year in Sonic's world, you can see the Ark up next to the moon. So that's crazy. And then like in Shadow the Hedgehog onwards, they always like texture at least the top part of the dome with like moon craters and stuff. So I get that I probably need to go back and do that at some point, but not this video, not right now. For now, even though that is part of my territory though, the Ark is mine. I might even move up there, I might mess around. But for now, this is the territory. I did change the bridge. It was a bunch of andesite. I like this deep tile slates and stuff. And then the red, I love red concrete. So, or I just love red period. So I kind of changed the bridge to that. Just kind of felt like it kind of went with the Sakura trees and stuff. So the whole pathway is now deep slate tiles. I might as well turn this back on because in this modded server, you can read at the top exactly what's going on too, right? So deep slate tiles. And then I had a nice little fountain in the middle, which I scooted over because it was off-center and it was bugging me, so I finally fixed that. And then we can finally get to the house proper, which one of the things you will notice immediately is, again, like the gate and like the old base, I put this around the edge of the house as well. And also, I gave the house a rooftop terrace. It didn't have that before. It had the basement, the the two middle floors, and then the top floor. So we'll start with some of the renovations I did. One of the first ones, the living room. I moved the living room here and then moved the kitchen there. They swapped places. The kitchen is basically the same. It's a kitchen, there you go. The living room is also basically the same furniture and whatnot. It's just a location change. Maybe it was like a feng shui thing, right? Like north is that way, for example. I like north. West is like a close second. Maybe it's just a feeling thing, so I kind of did that. But that's really all that changed on this floor anyways. We'll do the basement next. Now, this is not the dungeon. But if it was the dungeon, I'm just saying the accommodations are kind of nice because we have this room again, which I swapped with this room. See, if you're down here, you're in the basement. You got to deal with being down here. And as cozy as this might be, nice big old bed, a nice area for like your desk and computers and stuff, a nice room for TV and stuff, a lot of middle space if you need to build something or whatever you need space for, exercise, there you go. And then you have your own master bathroom, complete with a giant walk-in shower. Like, this is great. Tell me what's wrong with this. I'm kidding. You don't have to. Stop typing. It's not. First of all, it's not the basement dungeon anyways. I'm just saying it's kind of nice. That's really the only other change down there. So obviously this wall looks a little different because there used to be a door here. It's not there anymore. And then obviously there's now a secret elevator down here, which leads to my deep freeze cold storage, where the worst of my enemies will be stored forever, where they can never, ever bother me ever again. But anyways, going to the second floor, the only real change is I changed this This bathroom used to be the master bathroom for this room, which was like a guest room with a walk-in closet. And it still is. Basically the master, you know, bedroom. But now this is like the more accessible bath, because there's like 2 guest bathrooms downstairs already. So this is kind of like the bathroom for everybody else that are up here on the second floor, because these are bedrooms still. And the only other change then is this bathroom has become my own individual, just for me, basically, with a nice giant walk-in shower, which has a ton of room for a party, even though that's not what this is for, so I'm just gonna leave. And of course, last but not least, the cliche MTV cribs, and this is where the magic happens. You know, the magic of actually getting a good night's rest with no insomnia. You won't believe how magical that is when that happens. Double bed. It's a double bed, but it's all mine. I claim both sides. No, I already know. Okay, I know who you are. I know you're typing. Stop typing. Mine. I was waiting for 1027, especially so I could just drop that. No. Last but not least, this staircase was added. You can see the arc out the window. That's nice. And like I said, the rooftop kind of terrace area. So I kind of did this side as more of like a park, I guess you could say. A nice area. You can come up and get a bunch of reading done. I put a bunch of benches so you can just have multiple angles. Maybe you have feng shui or just feeling too. So you might want to sit. So maybe you want to sit facing that way or this way. Or maybe you want over here with a little bit of water next to you because it feels like a lake perhaps. I don't know. But also, if we cross this bridge, we get this side, which is like a nice little sitting pool. Not really for swimming and stuff, but like you could sit in it, maybe cool off if it's an exceptionally hot day by your standards, right? And then over here, I didn't build it yet because I haven't found a mesa biome, so I haven't found an abundance of terracotta. But this is like a grilling station, so the grill will go here, all this over here, kind of like a gathering joint over here. You can kind of have people, you can eat outdoors, barbecue on a nice day, you know. And then the stairs, what's nice is because along with this kind of looks like a crown. Because again, a god king determined to stay humble. Thoughts no longer jumbled, hopes no longer fumbled. Energetic, no, I'm just kidding, I'm not going to go the whole thing. Anyways, the point is, yes, this is now the new, it's the G Black House. Capital house of the G Republic. Come on now, you know I was going to find a way to throw a narcissistic G in there somewhere. Glack didn't sound right. The final addition, of course, being these trees. So Sakura trees, as much as I like them, they kind of do their own thing. You'll plant them, bone mill them to infinity and beyond if you want them to grow quicker, and they'll do whatever they feel like, and they're still nice looking. But I kind of like that this time it was kind of, they both kind of did this, like, they kind of went backwards a bit, like at a cool back angle right behind the crown too. They both did that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm keeping that. Boom. It's beautiful. Excellent. And they kind of look slanted, which what's kind of cool about that, you might know this, the Zentorno. I like the Zentorno. The Zentorno has a design that's kind of like this as well. So it kind of looks, you know, kind of looks like the Zentorno going back that way, kind of sleek and cool and stuff like that. But my only actual problem is on a different note. You might know where I'm going with this one. They kind of look like antenna. And my problem with that is bugs have antenna. And I know my walls are bugged constantly because there's things people know that they shouldn't know. People are in my walls. They're in my walls. You know who you are. Get out of my walls. I don't like that. I'm not paranoid. Of course I'm paranoid. Right at the end of the video. But yeah, so I mean, you know, there's that. I guess instead of antenna, I could just say they look like eyes or ears. That maybe looks a bit better, right? But like I said, like the Zentorno. I like the Zentorno. That's like one of my favorite things. So that is the new territory. In case for some reason I am unable to access the server for say like another year, or I don't get the world files, or you know something happens, I kind of wanted to document this as well because this is the most I've done in a survival in a long time. Technically, there's like the Niani server. You know, there's that one with that, but even then, that build, my job for that one was to destroy 3 mountains so that Niani could build that. And sure, I still need to build the rest of the academy on there, and I'll get to that. But this one I hadn't been able to touch in a while, and I'm just like, okay, well, I got a moment. Let's go in here. Boom, 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 bam, bam, bam. Document, and now we're good to go. Thank you so much for watching this video as well. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, the actual subscribe button. But I don't know which video will be next. We just have to wait and see. So until this time, take care and enjoy pizza responsibly. Thank you for watching. And build. Build, 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 build. Build nigh the science guy.